Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Today, we all woke up in a different world. Because late last night, yesterday morning, Donald Trump held his long-awaited summit with North Korean dictator and stuffed animal of himself, Kim Jong-un. And from the beginning, Donald Trump signaled he was serious about peace because he didn't greet Kim with his normal alpha male hand battle. Instead, he disarmed his handshake. Look at that. Come on, give him the Nobel Peace Prize now. After a brief one-on-one meeting, the two leaders got down to the most important item on the agenda, lunch, including Korean stuffed cucumber. Well, there's your headline, Trump ate a vegetable. Wow. They said it couldn't be done. Oh, they scoffed. By the way, Korean stuffed cucumber is stuffed with Koreans. Kim is a monster. Now, before the meal, Trump gave pool photographers some simple directions.
Getting a good picture of everybody so we look nice and handsome and thin.
Beautiful.
That is the face of a man really hoping the translator got that wrong. What? Did he just? The two leaders got along great. Trump even showed Kim the inside of his Cadillac. What's it gonna take to talk you out of your nukes and into this Cadillac? Okay, look, my manager's gonna kill me, but so would your nukes, so. Then the moment came that the world was waiting for, the signing of the historic agreement. So that's it. Agreement signed. Bring home the aircraft carriers, boys. Go to Times Square and kiss a nurse. But first, ask. A lot has changed since World War II. And the reviews are in.
We didn't get a whole lot.
We have nothing concrete.
We got nothing in return.
It's difficult to determine, what of concrete nature has occurred.
He did not get what even he said that he wanted.
Yeah, he ordered a hamburger and they gave him a cucumber. Now, here's the deal, okay? Kim got U.S. security guarantees, but in exchange, he agreed to work toward denuclearization of the Korean peninsula, but that was just reaffirming an earlier agreement he already had with South Korea. It's like Trump saw North and South Korea getting together and was like, that looks good. Who's up for a three-way? I'm a selfish lover. You have to promise more. Kim gave us so little. You have to promise more than Kim did when you signed the iTunes user agreement. And I'm not making that up. As Gizmodo pointed out, Apple makes you agree to not use these products for any purposes prohibited by United States law, including, without limitation, the development, design, manufacture, or production of missiles or nuclear, chemical, or biological weapons. That is unbelievable. It's just incredible that someone read the iTunes user agreement. And the two countries also committed to hold follow-on negotiations. So the result of this meeting was to agree to another meeting. It's not exactly a nothing burger. It's more like a bun that says, we agree bilaterally to the potential future placement of meat somewhere in the toasted zone. Trump downplayed what America gave up.
Only a person that dislikes Donald Trump would say that I've agreed to make a big commitment.
Fun fact, that line is straight from his wedding vows. And people love. It's a love story. It's a love story. And Trump explained how he was in the right state of mind for these delicate negotiations.
I haven't slept in 25 hours.
He was going to sleep on the plane, but they had Boss Baby. Of course, there is the small detail that Trump is entering into a deal with a homicidal boy king. But Trump is just working with what he's got.
Kim is a brutal dictator. He runs a police state.
forced starvation, labor camps. He's assassinating members of his own family. How do you trust a killer like that?
George, I'm given what I'm given, okay?
He's given what he's given, okay? Kim kills his own people, but it's not like he kneeled during the national anthem. But
He ain't no
be
Colin
fair.
Kaepernick.
Be fair.
Not Colin
Be
Kaepernick.
fair. Didn't happen.
You know?
Didn't happen. But Trump managed to look on the murderous dictator's bright side.
Well, he is very talented. Anybody that takes over a situation like he did at 26 years of age and is able to run it and run it tough. I don't say he was nice or I don't say anything about it. He ran it. Very few people at that age, you can take 1 out of 10,000 probably couldn't do it.
You don't give dictators points for being young. That's like saying, you know, Vlad the Impaler became ruler at age 20. Nobody talks about that. Everybody gets all hung up on the impaling part, okay? Not how young he was. He was the Mozart of sticking wood through people. And ultimately, Trump was confident that Kim would follow through on their agreement unless he doesn't.
Honestly, I think he's going to do these things. I may be wrong. I mean, I may stand before you in 6 months and say, hey, I was wrong. I don't know that I'll ever admit that, but I'll find some kind of an excuse.
Did he suddenly become self-aware? If I'm wrong, I'll make up an excuse. Then I'll start to believe the excuse. Then I'll attack anyone who remembers what I used to say, because it was all Obama's idea. And that guy, why did he say that? And Trump's already seeing ways to make money off this deal.
They have great beaches. You see that whenever they're exploding their cannons into the ocean, right? So I said, boy, look at that bridge. Wouldn't that make a great condo behind? And I explained, I said, you know, instead of doing that, you could have the best hotels in the world right there. Think of it from a real estate perspective.
How about think about it from a presidential perspective? Because I don't remember Churchill saying this.
We shall build condos on the beaches. We shall put a golf course on the landing grounds. We shall rezone the fields and the streets. We shall not rest until there's a Joe's Crab Shack on every corner.
That sounds good. That sounds good. That's what happened. That's what happened. He just never said it.
Put a Popeye too, churches.
Well, North Korea is way ahead of Trump, and tonight, The Late Show has an exclusive look at their no tourism ad.
Visit beautiful North Korea for rest, relaxation, and radiation. You'll be blown away by our beaches and artillery. And enjoy premium television with options like State TV or Off. And you won't believe the all-you-can-eat buffet. It's just the photo. That's why you can't believe it. Beautiful North Korea, the people's paradise. Travelocity.com says, please send back our no, we're worried.
So, there's your deal. Mission accomplished. Anyway, the point is, Trump is a statesman now, headed to the Nobel Prize. Clearly, this is the start of a new President Trump who approaches his job with purpose and dignity. I'm just kidding. Because on his flight home, he tweeted this: Robert De Niro, a very low IQ individual, has received 2 misspelled, many shots to the head by real boxers in movies. I watched him last night and truly believe he may be punch drunk. I guess he doesn't ... realize the economy is best it's ever been, with employment being at an all-time high and many companies pouring back into our country. Wake up, Punchy. Sir, it's good to have you back. We got a great show for you tonight. Ed Helms is here, but when we return, I'll show you Donald Trump's secret summit weapon, visual aids.